Hey, good morning, everybody. Let's talk about some setups today. Today was very easy day, I thought, to trade. I work long setup. I am on refresh mode for this NT8 version of the tools. Going to give an update either today or tomorrow, most likely tomorrow morning-ish. I'm going to be putting the completely same thing we have on Quantower for the updated tools onto NT8 for our current NT8 group. And then voila. And then also in the works is we're making a hybrid version of the iGrid Evo indicator that has the scalper paint bar functionality and a little other touches added to Quantower. So that way you can now have the iGrid indicator as part of your mix of tools in the Quantower platform. I also have some code I was waiting on that I got my hands on that will be going out to a programmer that's working on the Sierra Charts version of the tools for a group of traders that want to take the ball and run with it in Sierra Charts. So if you want to find out more info on that, I can point you in the right direction of who's going to be running the show on that. And that's going to move forward. I presume that programming work should get done probably this weekend. So the Sierra Charts group that's going to take the ball and the gentleman that's going to take the ball and run with it can have a code ready to go to put out to traders on Sierra Charts. I don't know much about that platform. I haven't used it in over a decade. And then that will be in motion. And then I'm full tilt in mode on TickBlaze. So all last few days of the month and into April, it's going to be all about deploying what we have on Quantower over in TickBlaze. And that's a really big project. And I've been traveling a little bit because of that. And that's what I want to update on. And then want to go over some important trade setup and some information that I look for when I'm trading. Um, let's see here. Well, first of all, let's wrap up kind of the update information. So I mentioned what's going to get added to Quantower. Um, I love trading on Quantower platform. I'm remote right now. I'm getting some breakfast, sitting at a coffee shop. So I'm on my laptop. I already made my hits to the long side in Quantower, and I'm noticing when I'm running Quantower and NT8 on my laptop, the Wi-Fi where I'm at is not that great. So it's interfering with my last trades here on this account. And then also my hotspot for my phone, I don't have the best reception. I'm kind of in a mountainous, high desert mountainous area. And so I don't have the best reception on my phone. Otherwise, I'd use my hotspot. I can run Quantower and NT8 on my laptop. And actually, this is like my junk traveling laptop. It's a 17.3-inch HP Envy. It's about 15 months old, i7 chip, and it works fine. I'm actually getting rid of this. I'm going to donate it to one of my kids, and I'm going to get a new MSI i7 chip computer for my remote work. And I've always been a big Asus guy. Oh, let me blip this out real quick here. Okay, I was hoping to finish at 5 grand even. I'm short by $4. That's okay. We'll call that good. Progress, not perfection. I wanted to finish the day at 1500. That's close enough. The difference between 1495 and $1,500 is a sneeze in a hurricane, so I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, lots of stuff finally getting done. I also have an update for my existing TradingView group. The dual bands work should be done this weekend also, and the dual bands will be added. We're currently using one of the indicators as a dual bands approach, but I'll have the official latest and greatest version of the dual bands added to the TradingView platform. And there's a little bit of a delay in getting that done because I wanted to make sure I could get that code for some of the additional smoothing mechanisms we have now into that instead of building it and then updating it later and later. I don't want to do that with the TradeView version. I just want it the way it is on Quantower all done, and then it's done. And then I'm not going to build anything else for TradingView in the foreseeable future. It's just not a platform I use very often. Especially with TickBlaze, I can have multi-asset class trading, and on Quantower, I can do multi-asset class trading. I mean, heck, Quantower, you can connect to TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers, crypto exchanges. You can connect it to FX brokers, futures brokers, prop firms, and so on. And anyhow, let's continue now. So that's a little bit of update on everything. Now let's get into some things that I look for that are like really big to me. So I'm going to blow up this chart. You can see we came down below the, I guess you could say, the evening lows, and they made a probe lower. That was probably a by design probe to go down, flush out. And I think there was a level right here that got swept, and I moved it down after it made that low. Buyers came in right away. This was pre-market, and then through the U.S. Open, they've been working it. And then they cleared the upper side of this range. So we got an inventory or liquidity sweep here, and then we had a liquidity sweep there of key levels. So some really nice trading today. So I got a liquidity sweep event long and a liquidity sweep event short, and I'm going to show you how I absolutely love and what I look for before I'm willing to counter that kind of a move. And this is about, I'm going to talk a little bit about mean reversion trading, and I'm going to talk a little bit about trend following, because we had some good trend following setups today too. So for those of you that just want to do developing trend following and established trend following, we'll cover that right now. Okay, let me blow this chart up. This is the one I want to work with right here for you guys. Okay, so we came down this morning. We did a liquidity sweep of this after hours session pivot low. Market right here did a nice M pattern, lower pivot high, rollover, came down, and then pre-market, I was kind of watching order flow a bit, and it looked like anybody that was buying was getting sold into. So that was probably institutions by design pressing it lower so they could turn around and be buyers this morning. This is something I love to see. So I'm seeing a push and I see the liquidity sweep. What do I look for before I get in on a trade long? So let me turn on my drawing tools and let's cover that right now. Actually, I'll just use the NinjaTrader drawing tools. So what I look for is this hook in the bands. See how the lower and the upper fast bands were outside of the main bands. So we have part of the fast bands outside of the main bands. That's one thing. We've had the liquidity sweep. We've swept that level. We've blown it out. That level doesn't mean anything anymore. So that level eventually then transitioned to down here off that low pivot pre-market. But right when I see the hook in the bands, that's my go time. That's when I'm getting ready to work in some liquidity and see if it sticks. And then there's another thing that I want to point out. These little upside down triangle, or in this case, right side up triangles, are anytime price pierces the lower part of the main band and then closes up. These are like heads up that, hey, the market's spending some time now outside the lower main bands and we may get a reversal. You know, these aren't like, we don't use these as actionable trade entry points. You could if you optimize it. Then you could use the triangles as optimized entry points if you want to do little micro, grid trading on a very optimized set of settings. And, that's a separate subject. So push, pop, push, pop, push, pop. So that means there's a little bit of evidence that there's a little bit of bouncing taking place. And what that means is those that were short from higher levels, so those that have been short from, in the night session, in the prior day session, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, those that have been short, there's some evidence now that they're starting to do a little bit of buying to cover action. Buying to cover, buying to cover. So there's little pops in price. They're buying to cover. So they're cashing out. They're ringing the till. Now, when you see the market actually reverse, Now, are institutionals absorbing some of the down move lightly? So they're buying, buying, buying. Yes, they are. They do that fully automated. And then it comes to a point where they can flow in liquidity as at a point that they see the selling dissipate, and then they can come in and flow in liquidity, and they do it fully automated. They spray in liquidity, kind of like a Gatling gun, in 1 to 9 lot increments. So they don't throw in 100 lots and 50s. All that stuff ended in 2008 to 2011 financial crisis. They completely went to Gatling gun style automated of firing. They could put like 3,000 contracts into the market in a second or two by having it all go in as 1 to 9 lot individual entries. So like a Gatling gun, they spray the liquidity into the market where they want to be a buyer. Now, this is really, really big. I want to cover this right now. See this triangle? I'll get this out of our way for now. See this triangle that's higher than the prior one? I love seeing that. So if I'm pushed, they're pushing, pushing, pushing. They've swept the level, push, push, push. I'm getting the hook. Maybe I'm worried that there's another level a little bit lower that they're going to go down and run that too. I don't want to like catch, what do they say, catch the falling knife. But then I get a higher triangle, upside right side up triangle. So that's a really good sign. I look for those in markets that have been pushing. So let's take a oval. That's a biggie to me. So we'll get rid of that. That's a biggie, that higher triangle now, and that's exactly where I got in. Now I got in manually today. I didn't have anything running. I don't run anything automated on NT8 anymore. I only am running stuff automated. I have like 3 experimental versions of bands trades running at Quantower, and they're really doing good. And once had a substantial breakthrough, and that's why I had to go meet somebody, because I'm like, hey, this is what's been happening over 7-8 days of, I actually know it's more than that. It's been about 9-10 days live trading. How can we go verify this and optimize this? Because this is mind-boggling how strong it's been each day. And I only have that running on one computer, a PC that I have in my trade office. So when I'm remote, I've been having to talk to it through a TeamViewer, turning it on, turning it off, changing settings, getting ready. So that higher triangle, I'm in with an entry. So right in this area, market order in, and then we're off to the races. Now, if you're doing this as a static trade, you've gotten the hook on the fast bands after being outside the main bands. I've gotten a higher triangle in conjunction with the hook, starting to get a little bit of lift. Beautiful. Okay, that's what I would call a little bit of a risky entry. You're fighting a downtrend a bit, but you're getting some evidence this thing might be hooking. And I really pay attention to the hooking shape of the fast bands for entry points, whether it's trend following like here or mean reversion trades like here. That was a great entry point. So let's go to arrow. So that was a good entry point. Got a little pop. Now what I'm looking for is to hold the position to mid-band and then take a portion of the trade off, a third, a half, whatever you want, 2/3, and then let the remainder run. So that was a good entry. Here's another really good entry. See this little pullback and then lift where the lower part for a long, the lower part of the fast bands made another hook. That is a higher pivot low. That is another brilliant entry point right in here after the second green candle close. You're getting a hook on the bands. The upper band stayed up. We're coming inside the bands. We're still below the mid band. And now you have a, let me get my drawing. So anyhow, hook initial entry, pullback lift, where this rotated, another entry. And then right here, we got pullback lift below the mid band. There's a quick scalp long entry, pullback lift, hook in the bands, both of them pointing up. Another, those are trend following entries. So beautiful mean reversion. And then I hit the mean reversion short today. And that was that short trade I was just in to finish over $1,500 on the day on a 150K account, or close enough. So anyhow, there you go. There's some setups wanted to show you. If you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com. Have a great day.